thanks, Mike, for coming on. My name is Scott Braswell, and this is M2 today is Mike Fuld.
Um,
How do you define successful implementation of your work? Or what is success?
sure. So in my camp role, a lot of what I was doing, especially towards the end of my tenure as one of the assistant directors, was really hoping to oversee the program, on site during the summer. And a lot of what we were doing was based on a lot of qualitative success. And as the programs of the summer kind of as we went through the process, we were looking at do the teens look generally interested and happy in what's going on, and um, trying to ensure that they felt invested in what we were doing. I think the mission of KUTS is really about taking these teens who are leaders in their own communities and going back with these newfound skills.
What were the core responsibilities in your position?
Sure. So as I mentioned, primarily I was in charge of the program, which meant I was overseeing 10 majors that we offered on camp at least last summer, and the staff that ran those different pieces. Varieties of professionals from a variety of different places. Arts and Hebrew and song leading and digital media, and I mean the list goes on. And so helping them to create their curricula, overseeing the process from that perspective, and being their kind of voice on the leadership team of what needs to happen in order for us to be successful.
Can you share a time, or can you think of a time where you were trying to achieve some of your goals at camp? And you met some challenges, and then ultimately, what made you successful, and if you could talk about some strategies or tactics that you use, that'd be great.
Sure. One of the the interesting part about the program team is that it's probably the program at KUTS especially is probably one of the most scrutinized components of our program, and it has a lot to do with the fact that we're working with teens, and as I'm sure that you've done all of your research in Betsy's class about, teens have a very eye mentality about the work that they do, and kind of their impact on kind of how the world operates. And generally speaking, you typically feel that they can do a better job than you can, and in some cases they're not wrong. They're being in the field gives them a really unique perspective of kind of what success should look like and how it operates. Excuse me. Part of one of the major challenges is being able to is really making sure that you are taking into account what the teens want, while also kind of making sure that you're meeting the needs of every other stakeholder that you're trying to manage, whether it's the major teachers or the rabbis that have in some cases invested significant money in their teens to spend their summer at KUTS, their parents, also from a financial, and in many cases they want to make sure their children are having a really specifically Jewish experience, and kind of being able to manage all these different pieces that have set expectations about what the program is and how it should affect their child, in a positive way, Jewishly, and ensuring that it.
Can you describe, basically the four frames as Bowman and Deal describe them? How has it guided you or influenced your ability to navigate KUTS, or now in your present role in Nifty, and any advice on how you use them or apply them would be very helpful.
Sure. From these are I feel like these are a little bit similar from what when I talked to Logan a couple of days ago, but there are two particular frames that I think are particularly resonant in the work that we do. One is the symbolic frame, and I think that by being a Jewish organization, we live in the symbol in the symbol framework. That our textual tradition is all about the work that we do, and we use that as a guiding light and a text throughout everything that we're a part of. And especially when you're talking about a Jewish leadership program, we're really trying to equip these teens with really specific skills grounded in Jewish philosophy and Jewish thought, and making it modern and exciting and fun. And the text is what guides us throughout that entire process of what we do. And then there's the storytelling piece as well. I can't tell you how many times I would walk into a cabin and they start asking me questions, and the conversation would never turn to well, when I was your age, here's some of the things that I did. And the question is, well, how did you get to where you were? Well, here's my story and how I got here, and what makes this experience so meaningful. The other piece of this is the political framework, and I think understanding where power and authority lies, and being able to navigate those pieces, and from the camp committee to the parents to VIPs that come into camp, the teens, all these pieces play a significant role in kind of ensuring success in our environment, and being able to manage those personalities and building an environment of trust and empowerment in meaningful ways, I think is really important. And, there are all kinds of other human resources and structural frames, and all kinds of other things that kind of play into the work that we do as well.
Well, that's all I have, Mike. Again, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this and doing it twice.
It's my pleasure.
But thank you, and I think this provided some great insight, a lot of really interesting notes, you having wearing two hats, and so I think this is really cool.